So you're starting to live stream and you're nervous for a ton of reasons, but one of those is, what if no one watches? Well, that likely will happen and it's 100% totally okay. Today I've got 5 tips for you on how to live stream with no one watching. So live streaming comes with a lot of fears. And we as human beings are vain people. And vanity metrics, like how many people are watching, is a really important thing to us because we want to know that the work we're doing, the time we're spending, is being heard and seen. And that's okay. But when you're first starting to stream, you have to concentrate on removing the vanity and really paying attention to your end goal and why you're doing this in the first place. By the way, if you are new around here, please do type new in the comments. I would love to meet you. And if you are new, you don't know me. Hi, I'm Laria Petrucci from Live Streaming Pros, where we help you create professional live video that is uniquely you. Shall we get into the 5 tips for how to stream when no one is watching? So tip number 1 is to be thankful. So here's the deal. You will not have viewers when you first start streaming unless you have already built up a big audience for other types of content. So if you're just starting out with content creation in general, you will not have people show up. It is normal. It's just what happens. You have to build your audience. And I know it's uncomfortable, but I want you to concentrate on being thankful for the people who are showing up and be thankful for the time allowed to learn how to live stream and deliver your content and be on camera without the pressure of people watching. It's actually super beneficial if you take it in the right approach, because you don't have people watching. You can actually learn how to do this stuff, get better by the time people are watching. So that's a huge benefit. But do be thankful for each and every person that does show up, because those first people, those first viewers that you do get, if you treat them special and you are thankful for them and not just waiting for more numbers to show up, they will be your most loyal years later. So huge benefits to a small audience. Tip number 2 is your mindset. So CK actually said, here's my question. How do I prevent myself from visually and possibly verbally displaying my disappointment? Tag said his biggest fear around the uncomfortableness of no viewers is the feeling of, am I even loved? So the mindset here plays a huge part in how you're doing on your live stream. You don't have to actually deal with this disappointment if you cover up the view count. So I've had many of our students actually cover up the view count so that they can't see if anyone is actually watching. So grab a sticky and just put it over that view count so that you're concentrating on delivering the information. If people do wind up commenting, great. But you could have viewers without comments, and that enters a whole other, distraction in your brain. So the best thing to do is to just ignore and treat it as you were just recording a video at first. Tip number 3, remember the replay value. So if you cover up the view count and you are just releasing the information and releasing your magic on the world, then what will happen is people will watch the replay, even if they don't show up live. I have to tell you a story about Andy Smiles, one of our students who did a spectacular job at showing up as if 100 people were there. This was her first live stream. She knew, because I had mentioned it many times before, there wouldn't be any live viewers. So she covered up that view count, she focused on the replay value, and she showed up big time in her delivery, like there were 100 people watching right then and there. And guess what happened? Within 24 hours, somebody did watch that replay and signed a $3,000 contract for her bookkeeping services. Then that contract turned into a bigger contract, which then turned into more word of mouth recommendations. So a single replay viewer turned into a lot of money for Andy. So remember, it doesn't matter if you have live viewers or not. Show up big, and the replay can be incredibly valuable. Plus, as you get more advanced, you can add some strategic approaches to your replays and get even bigger results. And remember, if the replay that people are watching is professional and it looks good, it lends to your credibility. They don't know if you had any live viewers or not. They're watching you. And so if you do want training on how to create professional live video, we have a step-by-step workshop so that you can have a studio that looks amazing. And this is temporary for me. I have light blocking curtains that are arriving ASAP. But we show you how to do all of that and how to set up a background. This is just stage one of my background, and you'll see that in other videos, but you can do the same by going to livestreamingpros.com/studio. All right, let's get on with tip number 4. One of the biggest struggles that people have when no one is watching is engagement. So live streaming, of course, we want to engage with viewers, but it gets really tricky when no one is there to engage with. However, what I want you to do is act as if people are there. Still ask for the engagement, but what you do is you keep moving along. So your ask for engagement, your call to engagement, actually is for the replay viewers, and they'll comment later. But you don't look down at the chat room and say, let me see if anybody responded to my question. No one is commenting. Awkward, right? So don't do that. What I want you to do instead is ask for it and quickly glance at the screen. If there's nothing there, move right along. And you need to be engaging in order to get engagement. So it's great practice, even if no one is watching, to be engaging. Act as if, talk as if. So what that means is that you tell stories, you laugh at your own jokes, you do ask for the engagement, you be entertaining in order to get that engagement. So whatever that looks like for you and your personality, do that. Act as if you were having an in-person conversation with direct engagement. What things do you do, say, be, and do that even with no one watching. Tip number 5 is about Q&As. This is another big mistake that I see so many new streamers make. Q&As are incredibly engaging. Q&As are super awesome because people love to get their questions answered. However, as a new streamer, you definitely cannot do Q&As unless you have proven engagement. It is the most awkward, uncomfortable thing for you and the replay viewers if you say that you're going to do a Q&A and then no one shows up and no one is asking questions. So do not get yourself into that mess. Avoid Q&As until a later date when you know that you will have engagement. You can promote towards an event where you are going to do Q&As. That might help you actually get viewers, but it's also a little tricky because you don't yet know that that promotion is going to work. So if you want to do that and risk it, then what you can do instead is go ahead and prepare a bunch of questions in advance. So then you're taking the most commonly asked questions that you get via email, social, or that you just know your potential audience will have about a subject. So that would be how you do Q&As, but you can definitely do a Q&A if no one is watching by having it all prepared in advance. And hopefully, if you promote well enough, then people will show up. Now, another community member, Sean, actually asked, could it be timing? If you're not getting viewers to show up, could it be a timing issue of when you've chosen to go live? It certainly could be. And it's okay to play around with the time that you do your stream, but remember, you must do streams at the time that works for you so that you're not making excuses because you're tired and hangry all the time. So work it in a schedule that works for you, but also remember that habits are key. Create consistency with your schedule and you're more likely to have people show up because they know when to find you. So you gotta get into that consistent habit for your audience if you wanna see growth. And if you are not sure about how to get engagement or how to be engaging, go ahead and watch this video where I give you 7 tips for engagement. Enjoy the streaming process even if no one is watching. You got this.